What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Welcome to the Deal Desk. If you're watching on IG, it's a limited viewing today. Then I'm going to hop off here. But anyways, if you're watching on YouTube channel, if this is your first time, welcome. Basically, the way this works is you can head over to the ritoolbox.com. You could submit leads. I will call them live. Okay, the last time we had this was Halloween weekend. First 5 minutes, accepted offer, $21,000 deal. You can go back and check it out if you'd like. If you are watching this, this is a great resource to train yourself, get better at acquisitions. If you have a team, have them watch this. You know, you can binge watch on the replays. I had this guy reach out to me the other day. He binge watched this for 3 days. He took bits and pieces. He got his first contract. Other than marketing in real estate investment, wholesaling specifically, I truly believe acquisitions is the really most important piece. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, we are in Minneapolis. Okay, so we're in Minneapolis right here. We got the property. I got the property pulled up. I'll go ahead and share my screen and tell you the details. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Let's see. So let me put this here. So this is the property right here. This is Minneapolis. Asking price, not specific. It looks like there's no asking price on this, okay, which is fine, but we're going to try to get it out of the seller if he answers the phone. It's vacant, fair condition, open to selling. Other reasons for selling, not specific. Anytime somebody's not specific when it comes to reason for selling, that's a red flag. But let's call this person, okay? I'll put on speaker loud, and I will see what they say, okay? Let's give them a call. I don't like running comps unless the person's on the phone. That's one of the golden rules is you shouldn't make calls or you shouldn't run comps unless the person's on the phone. All right. So let's give him a call. See if he picks up the phone. And I'll tell you something in a second of how to do a better job getting a price out of somebody. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat on YouTube, and I'll be more than happy to answer them in between calls. But let's see if this person picks up the phone. Where's this at? In Minneapolis. Let me go ahead and run comps. Looks like it's not even ringing. But while it's dialing, I'm going to go ahead and run in the comps, see where I'm at. Let's call him right back. Sometimes it won't even ring for some of these people. Let's try to put on speaker again. No asking price. Sounds like somebody that's not really motivated. Now, whether they know how much they want or they don't know.
Please leave your message for.
Oh, it ran that time. I'm going to try one more time. If not, we're going to move on to the next lead. And then I'll tell you something about people what do you do with people that don't say an asking price, right? What do you do with those people? Are they leads? Are they not leads? Can you get a deal out of that? I'll tell you in a second what my thoughts are on those leads. Let's give this gentleman a call back one more time. If not, we are moving on to the next one, which is in St. Paul, Minnesota. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hey, Mr. Bashir.
Yeah, who's there?
My name is Steven. You actually spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property on Irving Avenue. Were you still looking to sell that property?
This is actually his nephew. Here.
Okay. Do you know if he was looking to sell?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
You're not local? You're in Florida or what? You're in Florida? Or?
Yeah, I'm based out of Florida, but I have partners in Minneapolis, and it looks like my partner in Minneapolis spoke with your family member there, and they were interested in selling for an offer. But if if I'm speaking with you, I'm not sure. Are you part of the process, or is this something I would have to speak with him?
Yeah, you'd have to speak to him.
Okay, what's a better time my partner can give him a call back?
During the daytime, right now.
Afternoon or evening?
The rest of the day, you're able to.
You guys hear that okay? He's a little soft-spoken. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
You can, yeah.
But he's not the decision maker. There's no point in having a conversation with somebody that can't make the decision. Anyways, so this person, just real quick before I move on to the next lead, you guys, if you're watching me on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. Feel free to drop any questions you may have. One thing that I want to address right off the bat, if somebody does not give you an asking price, okay? If they do not give you an asking price, it doesn't mean they're not motivated. All right. What tells me how motivated somebody is the reason they want to sell and the time frame they want to sell. The price is irrelevant to me. Some people, they see a price that they want full market value, and then they go into the conversation, oh, this is not a lead. This isn't a deal. Let me look for some low-hanging fruit. Let me move up. Let me turn them. Like, you don't want to do that. Whether you are working with somebody else or you're working for yourself, you can't churn and burn your leads, okay? But if somebody's not doesn't tell you a price, the best way to get a price out of somebody is to get a reaction. Okay. And what I do is I anchor price every single time. When somebody does not give me a price, I give them a low sold property in the area. And keep in mind, low sold properties, they don't have to be actual comps because you're looking for a reaction, right? So if Bob the builder had a property, you called me, Steven, what's your offer? What's your offer? If his property is a 1,200 square feet and he doesn't want to tell me how much he paid or how much he wants to sell his property for, everybody knows that, by the way, I'm going to give him the lowest sold doghouse in the area that sold for $5,000, and I'm going to get a reaction out of him. Most of the time when you anchor price people, you're going to get a negative reaction. Okay, that's just the way the game is. You're going to get a negative reaction. But when you get a negative reaction, guess what? Now you know they don't like that, obviously. Some people may hang up the phone on you. And what do? You call them right back. Okay? If somebody ever hangs up in your face, call them right back. Hey, I'm sorry, Bob. Did we get disconnected? No, Steven, you gave me a low ball offer. You're wasting my time. Bob, I'm not saying that's what I'm going to pay you, Bob. I'm just giving facts to the neighborhood. But taking that to consideration, what do you think your property is worth, or what were you looking to at least sell for? You know, a lot of people don't want to spill the beans. They may not even give a number. Some people will give you a number. If it doesn't work, great. If it does, that's even better. But if they don't want to give you a price, you want to give a range. Do not, in my opinion, we don't give offers. It sounds crazy. We don't give offers. We give offer ranges, whether there's comps or no comps. Anyways, let's move on to the next lead, okay? So this person was their nephew, okay? So we will be wasting our time speaking with somebody that can't sign the contract, okay? If they can't sign the contract, you got to move on to the next lead. Now, obviously, this is the deal desk. I don't have all day to talk to this person. But, in reality, if you have somebody that is not the decision maker, you should not. I highly suggest you don't negotiate with that person, because that person that you negotiate with, it may backfire on you. They may tell their uncle, hey, man, like I spoke with Steven, I know I don't have the rights to sign your, the property or stuff, but man, uncle, you should sell for more. I know somebody, real estate Rick, he's a real estate agent. You should list it with him. Forget Steven. Like, you don't want to negotiate with a person that's not the decision maker. Okay. So anyways, let's move on to the next lead. We are in St. Paul, Minnesota. Okay, St. Paul, Minnesota. It's funny, when I call these markets where it's really cold, sometimes they're a little bit meaner or nicer depending if they like the weather. It's a real thing. Some people hate snow. They don't want to deal with talking to anybody when they're in the middle of snow. Not that it's snowing right now, but it's different. Like when I'm talking to people in Northeast or Northwest, the process could be a little bit slower. All right. So anyways, here's the property. It's really hard to see on here, man. Let me see if I could pull up the street view, because there are photos of this thing. Yeah, this is a very interesting property. Let me actually pull up the street view. I always like looking at the front of the house every time. On our Podio, it pulls a street view. The curb appeal is important. It's not going to drastically change your offer, but if you're looking at a piece of junk and all the other stuff in the neighborhood has a nice curb appeal, maybe like a bungalow style, which is popular in Tampa, it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. So this is the house we're looking at right here. Okay. Let's give him a call, and then I'll read the details. Mr. Omar. Asking price, not specific. Another one that doesn't want to give an asking price. That's okay. Never be scared if somebody doesn't give you an asking price. You should be scared if they're not motivated because you're wasting your time. And time is the most precious thing you and your team could spend on leads. Okay. So let's give this person a call. Hopefully, it's not a nephew or niece or whatever. Let's talk to the actual person that owns the house. Let's see if we can get something cooking here. So no asking price. Oh, my phone's in the way. No asking price. She said it's in the same as pictures. So if you're looking at these pictures, what is this thing? Is this a garage? Let's call them. If you're on my YouTube channel, you can see what I'm looking at. Let me show you. Hold on. Flip it here. Okay, so she said it's the same as the pictures. Need some work. I talked to him to text. It failed a couple times. He hasn't given specifics. It's real tricky negotiating through text. It's not impossible. Oh, this is vacant, obviously. Please leave your message. Let's call one more time. I'll also tell you a really good way of trying to close a deal via text, because even though it's difficult, it's not impossible. I have closed a deal only through text. People that only want to text, usually they're very analytical. They're very big on their privacy. They don't like talking on the phone. Maybe they're busy, but you can close deals via text. So it's basically almost copy and pasting the script, but you have to go with the flow of the conversation, okay? All right, so this person, the property's horrible shape. It doesn't have an asking price. It's the same as pictures. We talked through text, and she was open for a today. I'm assuming you meant call. She didn't pick up. She's not picking up right now either. Please leave your message. Yeah. Sorry, we got to move on to the next lead. If you're ever dealing with somebody, if you guys are doing SMS blasts, when you're doing SMS campaigns, the biggest thing for me that I like to do, if I'm doing an SMS campaign, you have to try to get the person on the phone. That's the very first thing, because you have a short opportunity to get them on the phone, right? There's a small window of opportunity to get them on the phone. If they can't get on the phone, then it turns into like a follow-up game, all right? If they prefer text, that's fine, all right? All right, so let's move on to the next one. This one did not answer. This next one is in Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore is one of those markets where some parts are very, very block by block. So you have to be very careful when you're doing comps. It could be real tricky depending on what part of Baltimore it's in. All right. You could have, completely different ARVs, completely different max offers right across the street. So Baltimore, you have to be very specific about the comps. When you're in these markets that have basements, by the way, you have to take that into consideration. A lot of people don't take that into consideration. Buyers do care about that. Okay. All right. So let me see if I could pull this up because it's not pulling up the photo. Let's read the notes while I'm pulling this up. So they're asking $95,000, which I know this area pretty well. They're already asking above full market value, but remember, that doesn't determine their motivation. Price does not determine motivation. All right, so this is a row home, just like everything, mostly in Baltimore. Let me pull this up here. Man, this is a really very close shot, this Google Street View got. Very interesting. All right, so let me share my screen, and I'll let you know what I think about this lead. Chrome tab. All right. So this is the property. They're asking $95,000. What repairs are needed? Hold on a second. Oh, no, hold on. Yeah, they're asking 95. I thought they were asking 1.2, but that's the next lead. Flooring, HVAC, roof, update appliances, paint. This is stuff that needs repairs, needs some work. Someone else is looking at the property. COVID caused some hardship and ready to get property off hands. This is a very, I would say, motivated lead. Okay. COVID hit a lot of people. It actually affected a lot of people financially, as you guys know. So, if they want to get this off their hands, let's see if we can help them out. So let's give them a call. This is in Baltimore, Maryland right now. Hopefully they answer the phone. Let's see what happens. Speaker. All right, let's run comps while it's ringing. Mr. Fadley.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Steven. I believe you spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property on Lemon Street. Were you still looking to sell?
No, I'm not selling. I'm not selling either. I'm keeping both of them.
Oh, you're not selling?
No, I'm keeping both of them.
Oh, do I have the right
He
person?
already called me.
Yeah.
You do. He called me. He called me already, and I told him I'm not selling them. I'm keeping them.
Oh.
If you haven't noticed, there's a rental shortage, and so I raised the rent with the city, so I'm good. I'm just gonna hold on to it.
So even if you got your asking price of $95,000, you wouldn't be looking to sell.
No. No, I'm not selling for $95,000.
No matter how much we paid you.
Tenant has nowhere to go anyway. I mean, we tried, and I don't want to kick her out on the street. I mean,
oh yeah, you definitely don't want to do that.
There's nothing for her to rent right now. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I'm sure you're aware. There's like nothing available.
Well,
and the things that
I'm gonna let him talk.
People are asking, ridiculous amounts that that HABC is not going to pay, and so that leaves the voucher holders in dire straits if they get evicted. I mean, I could evict her, but
yeah,
they agreed to increase the rent by over 25%. So, I mean,
wow.
Realistically speaking, I'd be a fool not to accept that. And then the house, it's paid for. It cost me nothing. It's pure cash. Well, why not?
No, I agree with you. And it just really comes down to, because anytime we're even considering making an offer on a house that has tenants, we always want to make sure the first priority is that they're taken care of. If the landlord has a good relationship, sometimes we have to evict people, but if they're good tenants, we always make sure they're taken care of. And we do have agents that can always, reach out to see if they want to relocate. Sometimes we just keep the tenants in there. But I guess according to my notes, originally you were considering selling because COVID. Is that still not the case? You're looking, no matter how much we pay you, being looking to sell this property, or is it that you just want to make sure that the tenants are taken care of?
COVID? No,
yeah.
I'm not afraid of COVID. No, I'm not afraid of COVID.
Maybe. Hold on a second. Did we speak with the right person?
I don't know where that came from.
Is this Mr. Fadley?
Yeah, you are. You are. I met you guys. I know who you are. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to it. I'm not going to sell it. I
okay.
Appreciate it, though.
No problem. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, take care.
Bye. So he's not a lead. It looks like whoever submitted this lead, I think you spoke with his wife. And the only problem with that is that if the wife is on board, but the husband is not on board, you're not going to have a deal. I don't care how good of a closer or what you offer that. If one partner's on board and one partner's not on board, it's not going to work. Now, ideally, what I like to do in those situations, if I ever get somebody that wants to sell their property, let's say the wife wants to sell, but the husband doesn't want to sell. In order for me to have a better chance of closing the deal, I, number one, have to get him on a three-way call, because the original conversation, whoever submitted that lead, the original conversation was different. For some reason, his wife put here that, COVID affected her or whatever. And then he's like, what are you talking about? I raised the rent. COVID's not an issue. I'm not scared of COVID. I don't know if they're divorced or not, or maybe they're not on the same page. But you can't get a deal if they're both not on the same page. So ideally, try to get them on a three-way call. That's number one. Number two, try to set an in-person appointment. Even though we're doing this stuff virtually. If you guys are doing your business virtually, you're not going to close every single deal over the phone. It's not going to happen. At some point, whether the person's old school, whether they have a bidding war, or maybe they just want to meet somebody face to face, you're going to need boots on the ground in your market. Okay. So I'm in Tampa. I'm also markets in the West Coast. Obviously, I can't take a flight to meet with a personal appointment, but I always say the best boots on the ground are real estate agents. The reason why is because they're credible. People feel a lot more comfortable. It's not just any real estate agent, by the way. A lot of real estate agents are not investor friendly. You don't really want to work with them anyways. It'd be a waste of time. And some agents are just super, super good. Big shout out to Laura. She's an agent we partnered up with on the Washington deal, the 6-figure deal that we did. She actually helped the homeowner relocate. She actually she just went above and beyond. She is hungry. She's awesome. I'm looking forward to doing more business with you, Laura. So, you got to find agents that are just, number one, investor friendly. Number two, they're willing to go above and beyond. Agents don't get paid a salary. They get paid straight commission. But hungry agents like to eat what they hunt. You got to look for a hustler, okay? Some agents be like, oh, I hate wholesalers, blah, blah, blah. Don't try to convince that person. Let's move on to next lead. Somebody commented the other day. They asked me a question like, hey, I was working with an agent, but she says this is illegal. She said this is illegal, right? It's not illegal, okay? It's not illegal. Some people may present the opportunity wrong to some agents. It's wrong if an agent shares their personal login to the MLS access. Some agents just hate wholesalers. That's just the way it is. Not everybody's going to love it anyway. But it really comes down to abundance mindset. Okay. And then it also comes down, what is this? Hold on a second. And it also comes down to, is this an investor-friendly agent? Okay. The next lead we have is in Orange, California. All right. So let's move on to the next lead. Don't have the mindset of California. I hear people say California's a tough market. You can't get deals in there. New York City's a tough market. You can't get deals in there. Right? Washington, D.C., man, that's a tough market. I can't get deals there. You guys can get deals anywhere. Okay. It doesn't matter about how tough it is and saturated. If there's a lot of, investors there, that means there's a demand. All right. So just make sure. So let's take a look at this property. Now, not every homeowner is going to want to sell at a deep discount, but that's just how it is all across the board. All right. So this property, they want $1.2 million. It won't show a street view of this, unfortunately. All right. Let me see what I can do. They want $1.2 million. No repairs, the seller said. Fair condition. I spoke with the seller for only a minute. I told him I'll call back today. Caught him at a bad time. Seller said fair offer. Reason for selling. Let's give him a call. Let's give him a call. By the way, if you guys are watching this, whether you heard this or not, while I'm dialing here, I have an acquisitions accelerator that started this month. I take a deep dive in the whole business from A to Z. I talk about structure, management, KPIs, hiring, firing, scripts, like anything you could think of is what we talk about. And then it turns into a mastermind with ongoing support. You have me twice a week. Okay. This is not something where I want 100 people on a Zoom call. I want to keep you intimate. If you're interested in getting information about that, it's not too late. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. Okay. Anyways, let's call this person California. It's morning time in California right now, which is fine. All right, let's give him a call. California. I like California because I like any market where the assignment fees can be big. Okay. So let's see if they pick up the phone. They're asking 1.2 million. I'm going to start running comps right now. Let's see what happens. By the way, if you guys have leads you want to submit, head over to the REIToolbox.com and I will call them live. Okay. If they don't pick up the phone, I call twice, by the way. If they don't pick up the phone, I move on to the next lead. You're more than welcome to resubmit it. So it goes to the top of the list. All right, so let's look at the comps here. This is in Orange, California.
Please leave your message.
Let's call one more time, man. They're actually asking a decent price. Let's see if they answer the phone. Some properties that are in very good shape, like this person looks like they're asking 1.2. I think it's worth 1.3 or a little bit above 1.3. Okay. So, when properties are in excellent shape, you don't always, I don't do the 70% rule. I look at and see what the inventory is selling for to cash buyers, properties in similar shape, but you also look at the comps. But if the property is in really good shape, I mean, let me take a look here. Seems like a newer area. Something I take into consideration also, and this is something you should look at every market. Does it have a pool or not? Let's say they're not picking up.
Please leave your message.
Sorry, we got to move on to the next one. If a property has a pool, you can't comp it to properties that don't have pools and expect the same ARV, right? The same ARV or the same max offer. It doesn't work out that way. In my experience, and this is just what works for me, pools usually add between $50,000 and $20,000 worth extra, right? You can add a little bit more of ARV or cash offer, or if it's obviously waterfront, whether that's a huge lake or the ocean. All right, so let's move on to the next one. We got one in New York. They're asking $550,000. He thinks houses are going for over $600,000. Okay, so let's pull this up. All right, so what repairs are needed? There's no AC. Exterior needs repair, siding. Property condition 7 out of 10. Kitchen's brand new. Okay. We called gentleman because he was in HOA lien in Florida, but he mentioned this other home. Oh, okay. Perfect. So some people may have more than one house. Okay. So let's give this person a call. Let me see if I could pull up. This is a nice house. Let me see if I could pull this up. I'll go ahead and show you guys. He's on the Google Street View. Looks like he's fixing his car. Let me share this real quick so you can see what I'm looking at. All right, so there's the property. Let me flip this. You guys can see this too. All right, where'd you go? Whoops, hold on a second. All right, cool. So let's give him a call, 550. Let's just give him a call right now. A big flag for me. Something I pay really close attention to is the reason why they want to sell. I don't care about the price, as I mentioned before, but why do you want to sell, right? And if you guys submit these leads, or in your business, if you talk to somebody and originally they want to sell, and all of a sudden when you call them back, they don't want to sell, that doesn't mean it's a done deal. You got to dig in a little bit more. So let's see if this person picks up the phone. Mr. Armstrong, okay. Let's run comps on it. I don't know if he's a mechanic or if he's just working on his car.
Please leave your
Let's
message.
call one more time. If not, we're going to move on to the next one. And the next one is in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville is a great market. Most markets in Florida are hot. I was running comps yesterday on this property, and I'll tell you in a second. Let me see if it picks up the phone. It has to do with Zillow. And I know how much everybody loves Zillow's estimates, especially sellers. What is going on up here? What is this? Solar? Almost looks like a ramp. Yeah. Okay. Looks like it's not pick up the phone, so we can move on to. Hold on.
Please leave your message.
Jacksonville. So something you guys may come across. This is really important. some sellers, keep in mind, some sellers will look at the Zestimate and that's what they're going to want. Now, remember what I just said earlier, that some people, no matter how much you're asking, it doesn't matter how much they want, right? Because price does not determine motivation, all right? What determines motivation, in my opinion, is reason for selling and time frame. That's really it. Some people, you can give them exactly what they want, and they're not going to pull the trigger because they're not in a rush. All right. Now, something to consider. This is an issue I came across yesterday. Obviously, we all know about Zillow overpaying for properties, and now they're trying to sell everything, and they stop buying properties, the whole iBuyer mess. When I was running comps yesterday on this property, this lady wanted 220. I said, 220? Let me run the comps on this. I noticed 2 cash comps, okay, on the other side of the street, not her street, but the street over. One of them, which I posted this on my story, Zillow paid, I think, $10,000 to $20,000 over the estimate / ARV, and then Open Door paid about $10,000 over the estimate or ARV. So the problem with that is, when they overpay above ARV, and I don't know what the condition was, but they overpaid for it, obviously. When people see those sales, and that also messes with the Zillow algorithm, because Zillow kind of takes an average. And this is why I tell homeowners, hey, I educate them a little bit. Hey, I don't know if you've heard recently, but Zillow has been overpaying for properties. They've actually stopped. They're trying to liquidate. And, that's what's causing houses to sell above market value in the area. Realistically, if your property needs some work, or even if it's an as-is condition, I have to look at oranges and oranges. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that make sense, Susie? You know what I'm saying? So make sure whenever somebody brings up the whole Zestimate thing, you got to educate people. And right now is a really good time to justify why the Zestimate, when people look at the Zestimate, not only does that not know what the inside of your house looks like, they also made a big fat mistake. So make sure you guys use that ammunition. Okay. So let me take this off. We're going to move on to Jacksonville. Let me take some questions. Okay. Let me take some questions. Submit a few leads 2 weeks ago. Hopefully get to them. All right, cool. All right. What if a seller doesn't want to sign the contract over the phone with you and says they want to look over the contract after you send it to them? How do you overcome that objection? Great question. So hopefully you guys on Instagram see this question here. Let me max this out here. So what if a seller doesn't want to sign the contract over the phone with you and says they want to look over the contract after you send it them? How do you overcome that objection? I don't send out contracts unless the person is in front of the computer. I just don't do it. I don't do it at all. And a lot of people talk about why sellers go ghost after you send it. Number one, they now have leverage. They see your offer. This is written, by the way. They have the address, the written out offer. They have the EMD. They now can take that contract. If they have their attorney look at it, their attorney may offer more. If they're getting a bidding war, hey, Steven at XYZ Investments offered me this. Offer me $150. If you can beat that, I'll do a deal with you. So number one, we do not send out contracts unless a person's in front of the phone. Number two, if you ever send out a contract and the person gets cold feet while they're on the phone, this will happen, and it does happen. It's normal, okay? If you send out a contract to the person while they're on the phone, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, okay, let me think about it, Steven. I gotta talk to my wife." The first thing you have to do is say, "Hey, Bob, I can completely understand that. I was under the impression you were ready to move forward. Is there anything on this agreement that you may have questions about that I can address right now?" So first, agree with them. Don't say, "Oh, Bob, what's the problem?" Right? You don't want to sound like you're against them. You want to sound like you're with them, okay? You're on the same team here. So, "Hey, Bob, I can completely understand that. I was under the impression, correct me if I'm wrong, I was under the impression you're ready to move forward. Is there anything in regards to this agreement that maybe I can address for you?" Two things are going to happen. The first thing that could happen is they're going to say, "Oh, well, this inspection period. Oh, well, this EMD. Oh, whatever it is." Guess what? You are on the phone with them. And if you overcome that objection while they are on the phone, they're going to move forward with you. Some people still going to say, "I got to look over my wife. I got to look at the attorney." This is how to say it. Make sure you guys are taking mental notes. Write it down. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you pay attention. But check us out. If somebody says, "Well, I got to have my attorney look at it," I got to have my wife look at it. Everything looks good to me. Hey, Bob, I can completely understand that. Now, company policy is we do not send out contracts unless the person's ready to move forward. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to void the agreement, and I'm going to resend you the same agreement, but it's blank. Okay? Take your time, review it with your attorney. Take your time, review it with your spouse. When's a better time I could check back in with you to see how that went? Do you guys notice a difference on when that happens? I don't want to hear people complain about, oh, he threw the whole spouse card at me. It doesn't matter. If they agree to a price and they're ready to move forward, if they have to look it over with their wife, that's not that they're not going to sign. What that means is you have to get commitment from both of them. And if they're both on the same page, you're going to get that signed contract. Now, I'm not saying that if you send out a contract, it's not going to work. You might get it signed back. But your chances of actually closing the deal are way higher if they're on the phone. Okay? So in my best humble advice, guys, do not send out a contract unless they are on the phone. If they get cold feet, void the contract, okay? Void the contract. You're going to get some people say, hey, I'm driving right now, Steven. I'm driving. Send the contract. I'll look at it when I go home. Just send it over. Hey, Bob, I'd love to do that. Unfortunately, company policy is I can't send it out unless you're in front of a computer. What's a better time I can call you when you're home? There's no rush. I don't want to rush this. What's a good time I can call you when you get home? That's it. That is the secret magic sauce. I call it Ghostbusters. One of the most frustrating things as an investor, guys, is when you're talking to a lead and then they just go ghost. And you already talk price, they like everything, they go ghost. So please do not sign a contract unless they're in front of a computer. Okay? Great question. Let's take another question. You guys, I'm doing live Q&A on my YouTube channel, so head over there. Let's see. It's hard to wholesale farmland with a home and a barn on the property. If there's no comps, it can be. It's not impossible, but this is a good point Mike brings up, and it is hard, but it's not impossible. And the thing is, if you ever get a property that's out in the middle of nowhere, it's a very rural area, there's not many comps. Number one, you got to make sure you are marketing in the right area, okay? Some people say, well, I don't want to sell my house, but I have this farm in Arkansas or whatever, right? Running comps on these types of properties are not easy. There's a lot of different exit strategies. Like, is it a business? Is it producing income? Like, is it what's going on with it? But keep in mind, whenever I get a property that's out in the middle of nowhere, there's two things I like to do when negotiating price. If there's no comps, how am I going to know what my MAO is? You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, say, hey, I'm looking at this property. You don't want to lie to the homeowner. You want to be upfront. Say, hey, Bob, in order for this to make sense to us, we really have to be anywhere between this and this. A good rule of thumb, not everybody likes this, but you have to be overly conservative when you have properties in the middle of nowhere. Your MAO is usually 15% of the estimate on PropStream or the Zestimate on Zillow. That is your max. In some markets, the tax assessed value is always really low. Like in Florida, the tax assessed value is always much lower than the property's worth. But that is a good starting point as an anchor price, okay? Keep in mind, if you ever lock up a property in a rural area where there's no comps, it's going to be just as difficult to sell it than to find comps. So don't also be afraid to partner up with agents, okay? All right, let's keep making a few more calls. We still got time. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat on the YouTube channel, okay? So we are moving on to Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, Jacksonville, Florida. Hopefully you guys are taking down a lot of notes. I like giving free game on these things, okay? If you haven't heard my announcement, the Deal Desk Season 2 is we're aiming for January. We're going to have a lot of different guests, a lot of different players in the industry. And not only am I going to interview them, I want to see how they make some live calls. They're going to be put on the spot, all right? But that's going to be interesting. I'll announce more about that later. Okay, so let's call this person in Jacksonville. Let's see what we got here. All right, so they want $1 million. Okay. Let's see. $300,000 has been put into the property. Oh, 7-bedroom, 4 bathrooms, fair condition, used as an assisted living facility, has a pool. Ooh. You know, if you guys don't know about the assisted living facility game, it could be very profitable if done correctly, okay? Don't sleep on those. Assisted living facility. This is great. This is great. So let me pull this up, guys. Let me take this question off. Great question, Mike. And let's see what we can do. Assisted living facilities can be cash cows. All right. Are they hard to comp? Yes, but it's almost like a multifamily. You know, you want to get the income expenses. Unit mix is also a very important thing. When you get to these kinds of properties that are a little bit tricky, but they are assisted living facilities or it is multifamily. What is this? This looks like a giant house. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. And you guys can only see, if you're on YouTube, head over to my YouTube channel. You can see what I'm looking at on my YouTube channel, okay? Anyway, assisted living facility. If they pick up the phone, we're going to gather as much information as possible. If they don't, we're moving on to the next one. We're going to go to New Jersey. Anyways, this is the property. Let me flip the phone on my phone here. Flip the camera on my phone. This is the property. It's a very interesting build here, but let's give them a call and see if they pick up the phone first. Assisted living facility is what we're looking at. This is typically not something, well, usually isn't something you can give an offer in 5 minutes or 7 minutes or whatever. You really have to dig in. Okay, there's a lot more questions you have to ask on these kinds of properties. They want $1 million. I don't think that's going to work, but you know, again, price doesn't determine motivation. Let's run the comps. Let's see what's going on in the area.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Ram.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Steven. I believe you spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property in Savannah Avenue. Were you still looking to sell that property?
No, because I get a lot of people call on that's an assisted living home we have. We taking care of elderly people.
Mm-hmm.
So we could sell it as a commercial if you guys want it for $1 million. It's fine.
Okay, so you were interested in selling, or you
I
weren't?
would not want to do this until a year from now. So if you guys could do $1 million, it's fine. I have a close to 10 bedrooms with 5 baths.
Did I catch it a good time?
Really, not really. I'm trying to help out here a little bit, feeding these elderly people.
Okay.
So it's fine. You can talk for a little bit. And what's your name again?
My name is Steven.
Steven.
Yeah, you spoke with my partner, Delisha, not too long ago.
Yes. Well,
But I
don't know the price. She tell you.
Yeah, I'm not going to say we can offer that or we can't. That's why I want to call you, ask you a few questions. But if I didn't catch it a good time, when's the best time my partner and I can give you a call back?
Where are you guys located?
I'm based out of Tampa, but she works in the Jacksonville market. So we buy properties all over Florida. We're very familiar with Jacksonville.
Also, do you know Palm Leaf Realtors?
The what?
Palm Leaf Company. They're called Palm Leaves.
Palm Leaf Realty?
Yeah.
I am not familiar with them. Why?
No, because there's a big company. I used to work for them, but things, people guys, they buy out a lot of property right now, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. And real quick.
I tell you what, I have your number. Let me call you back probably in a week or so. How about that?
Okay. Hey, before I let you go, real quick, is this something, I know you want $1 million and you're not really in a rush to sell, but is this something you'd ever consider taking monthly payments on, or is this something you were looking just for a cash offer?
Just a cash offer. We don't do, I go through Carlton Sheet course. I don't do that because of those problems. I used to be a real estate investor, so I know everything's about it.
Oh, perfect. So you know how the game is. Okay, well, no problem. My partner and I will give you a call back next week, and we'll go from there, okay?
Got you. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right.
You know what? I caught him at a bad time, and I don't care how hot a deal is. You never, ever want to push the person into talking to you if they are busy. Because even though you might feel that way, oh man, I'm really excited about this deal. I got to talk to them. if you push them even a little bit and they feel uncomfortable, they're not going to, it's just not going to build as good rapport. So this property, I don't know enough if we can pay $1 million. It really depends on the numbers. It's so strange. This is it looks like a mini resort in a single family residence area. Let me see. Oh, I can't show you the address, unfortunately, because this is a deal desk. But look at these houses next door, and you can't see it. I'm looking at the satellite view, but this has a huge pool. It's such a weird layout. It's almost like a mansion in a residential area. It's very, very strange. But that's what you get with assisted living facilities. So running comps on this is not something you can make an offer in 7 minutes, but it could be a cash cow. So if you guys are watching this, you're liking it, click that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's answer some questions here before I call the next lead. All right. So what we got here? Wholesale to house in Lemon Street. Nice. Yeah, Lemon Street was that last one. Okay, so here's a good question. Let me take this off here for a second. When a tenant has nowhere to go, how do you get over that objection / help in that situation? When a tenant has nowhere to go, how do you get over that objection? And how do you help in that situation? This is a great question because this is something we actually just took care of. Okay. So if a tenant has nowhere to go, number one, the landlord, the person that's selling you the property, the landlord, do they have a good relationship with the tenant or do they have a bad relationship with the tenant? If they have a bad relationship with the tenant, for example, if the tenant is destroying the property, if they're not paying rent, okay, I'm not going to feel bad for evicting somebody that doesn't respect the house or the landlord. That's a good scenario for you because it's just straight eviction. You just got to figure it out, or some squatters or whatever. But if the seller has a good relationship with the landlord, some landlords don't even want to tell the tenants they're going to sell because they don't want to spook them if the deal doesn't work out. But if the tenants are good, they have a great relationship with the landlord, something that we like to do and tell the homeowner, hey, Bob, I understand that, you have tenants in there. Just kind of what I told this guy on Lemon Street, basically. But you want to make sure you tell them it's a win-win-win situation. Hey, no problem. We buy properties with tenants all the time. Let me ask you, are they paying on time? Are they good tenants? How long have they been in the property? Oh, they're great tenants. I love them. They pay on time. Perfect. Great. So typically what we do, if there's great tenants in place, we can either keep them in there, or if they need to relocate, we have agents that can help them relocate, and they can find a place that matches their budget, criteria, location. But we want to make sure that they're taken care of, and they will be taken care of. Does that make sense, Bob? So let the person know that the tenants are going to be taken care of, okay? That the tenants are going to be taken care of. When you say it like that, when you're very upfront about making sure that they know that the tenants are being taken care of, they're going to be a lot more open to negotiating with you. Some sellers don't want to let the tenants know that they're selling. And you got to tell them, be upfront, say, hey, I understand that. At some point, they're going to know that, it's going to be under new ownership, but do you have a good relationship with them? Are they paying on time? Are they in a month-to-month or annual lease? What is the rent? Some people are okay giving you the rent information. Some aren't, but this is stuff that's good. So just tell them you're going to create a win-win-win situation. Okay. That's how you overcome that objection, and always look for agents in that market that are willing to help the tenant relocate. We literally just did this in Washington. That $200,000 deal we did in Washington. Okay. That was it was a headache. It was a huge process, but an agent actually helped us with the seller relocate. I don't live in Washington. I don't know what's going on, with the tenant and their situation most of the time. They went in and out of the hospital. They had depression issues. They were a hoarder. It was a nightmare. But we were there with them every single step of the way. And we had agents that go above and beyond assisting the homeowner. So agents, again, not only are their boots on the ground, they can also help tenants relocate. Okay. Let's see. Just went through this with the wife and husband. Yeah. So should we submit leads right before the live or during the live? You guys could submit them anytime before the live or during the live. I will tell you there's a long list, so that's why I try to to call twice, all right, to make sure. If you guys see that I called your seller, I mentioned the street name and the seller's name. If you know that's your lead and they don't answer, you're more than welcome to resubmit the lead, so it goes to the top of the list. This deal desk thing, guys, that I've been doing this for over a year now. It's crazy. I started June of last year, okay? And I've yet to recycle the list. I don't think it's ever going to happen because a lot of people submit leads. But if you see I call your lead, feel free to resubmit it, okay? All right, so let's go over to the next lead. We got in, I talked to this person in Jacksonville. They had the assisted living facility, the ALF. This could be a deal. It could not be a deal. We don't know, but we need more information, okay? And if you ever catch somebody at a bad time, don't get thirsty. This is a big thing I see. You know, I say it, but it's very underrated. A lot of people have a team, or this may even be yourself. Maybe this is you. If you're having a bad week, okay, I'm pulling up the information while I'm telling you this, by the way. If you're having a bad week, this real estate business is like this. You're not going to get, more deals and more deals and more deals and more deals every single week. It doesn't always go up, 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 up. It's going to be a roller coaster. That's how real estate is. If you or your team is having a bad week, and maybe you're like, man, I haven't got a deal. I really need to get a deal. I'm going to try to be a little bit more aggressive. The homeowners are not going to like that, guys. They are not going to like. They can sense that thirst. They can sense the thirst. Don't ever get thirsty. Stay hydrated, okay? When you're thirsty over the phone, I'm not talking about water, okay? When you're thirsty for deals over the phone, the sellers can easily pick that up, and they feel really uncomfortable when somebody's applying a lot of pressure, okay? So just make sure that you're not thirsty, when you're doing that. Always, always ask. Part of the reason I feel I'm pretty good at this is because when I ask that I catch it a good time and they say no, I don't continue the conversation. It's a waste of time. If you caught somebody at a bad time and you try continue the conversation, you're really only hurting yourself. Okay? Oh, this house is in pre-foreclosure. Nice. So let me actually blow this view up here. I actually can. It's a very small image. Some people upload photos on their on Zillow, and you can't see it that well. All right. Anyways, I don't need to show the property since it can't be seen. Let's call this person. They're asking $200,000. They are in pre-foreclosure according to this. And as we all know, leads that are in pre-foreclosure are usually very motivated leads. So let's see if they pick up the phone. Keep those questions coming. Okay. Again, if you guys are interested in the master closer mastermind, shoot me a DM. Okay. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. Your contact information. I will have the team send you information. Listen, I know that I can create killer closures for you. I can easily help you increase your conversion. You don't need hundreds and hundreds and thousands of deals to make hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars. Okay. Sometimes you may have less leads than other people, but it doesn't mean that you can't close them. Okay. Let's see if this person picks up the phone. They put a lot of notes here. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, basement, backyard, blah, blah, blah. Anchor price. What are they asking?
Your call has been
Asking price $200,000. Ooh. Hey, this looks like a deal just by looking at the numbers. The ARV's 385. They're asking 200. Cash comps 275, 259, 255. This is a deal. Who submitted this lead? Let's call him back one more time. Tarif, you submitted this lead. The numbers make sense according to the comps.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Brosley.
Bradley?
Is Mr. Bradley?
No, this is Robin.
Robin. Okay, I believe my partner spoke with somebody there in regards to the property on 6th Street. Were you still interested in selling that property?
Okay, well, repeat this. Somebody want to sell which property?
The property on 6th Street. My partner spoke with somebody there in regards to it. Were you still looking to sell that
On
property?
6th Street?
Yes.
6th Street, that's years ago we talked. I used to live there on 6th Street years ago.
Okay. Oh, you used to live there. You don't own the property?
No, 6th Street, that's what you're talking about. By EWC? Ellis Water College?
What was that?
Okay. I don't have no property on 6th Street.
Oh, you don't have a property on 6th Street?
No.
This is in on South 6th Street in Newark, New Jersey. You don't own that property there?
New Jersey? Oh, no. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, you know what? I think I just spoke with you. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry.
You just called me for
Yeah.
313 Savannah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Wrong number.
I'm the guy who told you about the $1 million property. That's
Yep,
fine.
the $1 million. All right, thank you. I was confused. I was like, sorry, let's call the right lead this time. They're like, but they said they used to live there. That's funny. All right, so let's call the right lead. Unless this is a duplicate. Hold on a second. No, this is a entirely different thing. My bad. Man, I'm telling you, I might need glasses, man. I have 20/20 vision, but I might need some glasses soon. Anyways, this lead in New Jersey is a deal. Hopefully they pick up the phone. Cash comps make sense. This is actually a pretty decent sized deal. This is the correct number I'm calling, by the way. Oh, this is your lead. Okay, cool.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Berlesi. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Steven. I believe my partner spoke with you in regards to your property on 6th Street. Were you still looking to sell that property?
What's your property?
What was that?
What's your property?
South 6th Street in Newark, New Jersey.
Are you talking about the vacant lot?
The vacant? No, it's a house. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath property.
No, the house is sold.
Oh, you sold that?
Yes.
Closed and funded?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any other properties you might be looking to sell? You mentioned a lot.
I wish.
Oh, did you have a lot for sale?
I have 2 lots for sale.
Okay. I'd love to make you an offer on those properties if you have a few minutes.
It's a vacant lot, 25 by 100 each.
What's the address?
It's in South 6th Street, 222 and 222.
Okay. So it's on the same street. Oh, it's right across the one you just sold. Next to them. Okay, perfect. And what were you saying about the lot?
25 by 100 each,
Mhm.
and approved the variance, and approved land from architect.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing. Can you repeat that? You said you had 2 vacant lots.
Yes.
And are there any septic or utilities attached to those lots?
No.
Okay, perfect. And what are you asking for them?
200 each.
200 each? Okay. Yeah. The only lot I see that's sold in the area is on Orange Street. Sold for $97,000. So I'm not sure if I'd be the best fit at that number.
What size lot? What size lot?
Let me see here. Let me pull this up. It's loading right now. It is lot size. It's about 1185 is what it says here. And there's a new construction house that bought that lot though. Some builders bought it. And you said you wanted 200,000 for both lots or each lot?
great day.
I think he's at a store. You mentioned you wanted 200,000 for each lot or both lots?
No, for each.
Oh, for each lot. Okay. Let me ask you something. If we can cover the closing costs, fees, and commissions, what do you think would be the best price you can do for each lot?
200.
200? Okay.
We can ready to build 2 family on each one. And you getting the survey, and you're getting the architect plans, and you're getting the city approval.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to see here. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see anything selling around that price range. Have you ever considered listing the lots?
Say that again?
Have you ever considered listing the lots to get a higher price?
No, I'm not in a rush.
Okay. All right, no problem. Yeah, I didn't want to waste your time. I don't know if I'd be the best fit. Oh, hold on a second. Is this lot? This is a residential lot, right?
Yes.
Well, it's a double lot. It's one address or 2 addresses? Because I don't see them subdivided on the tax records here.
2 others, 222 and 224.
Okay, so it's 2 individual.
It was one lot, and we subdivided through the city.
They're not subdivided?
It was one lot, and we did subdivide it.
Oh, okay. Okay. And just out of curiosity, what's got you interested in selling the lots? It seems like it's a good area.
It is a good area
Mm-hmm.
because I'm getting old, and I was planning to build, and I'm still thinking, should I build it or should I
I'm looking
sell
at some
it
comps. It's pretty diverse.
and relax?
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And if you got an offer, if you got the 200,000 you're asking for each lot, what kind of time frame were you looking to sell? Were you looking to sell the lots? Like a month, a couple months?
I don't want to sell to somebody who's gonna assign it to somebody else. I don't want to go through that.
Yeah. And the good thing about us is that we have proof of funds, so we can actually close on the property. That way we're not wasting your time, because I know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if we can get you that offer, what kind of time frame do you think you'd be ready to sell?
Immediately, I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. Let me do this because this is a very tricky area. I'm just gonna look at this with my partner real quick. Is it okay if I put you in a brief hold?
No, you can call me after 5-10 minutes because I'm picking up something from the store and I'm close to home.
Okay. All right. I'll look over my partner. If it makes sense, I'll give you a call back because I don't want to waste your time. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So the house was a home run. He said that he sold the house. Anytime somebody says they sold the house, it doesn't mean it's a done deal. This is why I always ask a follow-up question by close. Did it close and did you get funded? If they say yes, it's a done deal. But guess what? I always ask for more properties. Notice in the beginning of the conversation, you said, "Are you talking about the lot?" And I said, "No, I'm talking about the house." "Oh, that's sold." And then you follow up with, "Did you have any other properties for sale?" Knowing that he had lots. This is a really strange area because I'm looking at vacant land. There's not much new construction, but I'm looking at property class vacant land. And I mean, some of these lots are selling for 100,000. Let me pull another one up. Yeah, you know what? Actually, this is not, I don't think this is gonna work. It's so weird. I'm trying to stay really close within the comps. Like some areas are very block by block. I would say this is one of them. There's only really 3 comps here. Okay, somebody got a home run deal because they bought one lot, but his lot, hold on a second. His lot is right next to the house that just sold. Okay. So, dang, that house was actually a really good deal. Let me pull this up right here. He owns a lot right next door, and it's a double lot, which is a good thing. But it's extremely difficult to comp. So what? And I don't see any new construction either. I looked at new construction, and there was not any new construction anywhere nearby. I do see a lot that sold for $280,000, and I see a lot that sold for $600,000. So what I'm gonna do is I can't show you the address obviously, but what I'm gonna do here is I'm analyzing each lot, and see who bought it. Was an LC? What's the square footage of our lot? I'm using props, stream trunk comps. And if you guys are ever curious as to how to run comps on land, I have a video on my YouTube channel on that. Okay. So let me pull this up here. Yeah, this is like such a interesting property. All right, so I do see this lot sold for $600,000. I want to see the square footage, and the zoning is the main thing I look at when I'm looking at land. I look at the zoning. Okay, so this zoning, let me see here. The square footage of this lot is it's not pulling up the public records for that specific lot. But what I'll do is I'll just multiply that by 2, because that's what the frontage of his house is. It's hard to explain this without you guys seeing it, but again, I do keep these leads confidential. So let me do a little math here. This is I think you maybe could do something with this. Okay, so the lot size, I mean, it's about 3,200, between 3,000 to 4,000. I want to see this lot that sold for 600,000. Who bought this? What's the zoning? And what's the size of the lot? Okay. So when I'm looking at lots, I go to comparable nearby listings. I look at the lot size. I look at the zoning. And when you're looking at comps, you got to see who bought it. And this is a cash transaction, which is good. All right. Comparable nearby listings. Give me 1 second. 600,000. That's the one I want to look at. 600,000. Lots can be very tricky to comp, depending on the area, but it's pretty much the same process. So it does not look like an LLC purchased this. Some homeowners, like in areas where there's not a lot of new construction, typically they're individuals that purchase these lots. Maybe it's a neighbor, but I don't see any investors buying these lots here, unfortunately. So I don't think this is a deal. Let me look at one more. I don't really want to cross major highways, roads, or bodies of water. There's not enough data that supports $200,000 per lot, unless this is an investor. And if you ever get one lot or one property that's bought by an investor and there's no other comps, you have to, in my opinion, you should skip trace that investor. This wasn't an investor either. No. So I would say this is not a deal. Sorry. What I was gonna say was, if you ever have a comp and it's like a one-off comp, you should always reach out to that investor. If it was listed, reach out to the agent that represented the buyer and ask them if they're active. If they're not active, it's not really worth your time. Some LLCs will purchase it for their own personal use. You'd be surprised. But if they are active, it could be a deal. It's worth locking up. Anytime I lock up land, I put a 30-day inspection period for scenarios like this. It's like all over the place. But, in the beginning, I thought there was opportunity, but when I really dug into the details, I don't see this being a deal. Okay. All right. It is 1:11. If you guys are on IG, head over to YouTube and subscribe. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, if you like this, please hit that like and subscribe button. Okay. Keep in mind, I do have the Master Closer Mastermind, and we already started. Today is day 2 of week 1. Next week is when the juicy stuff happens. Next week, we talk about scripts, role playing. I'm going to dive deep into the script. This script has helped me close hundreds and hundreds of deals, and I know it can help you too. So if you're interested in the Master Closer Mastermind, shoot me a DM on Instagram. Give me your contact information. I will send out information to you. This is not really, in my opinion, it's not an expensive thing. It's not free, but it's not like $5,000 or all these other things that people charge, okay? So that being said, I will see you guys on the next Deal Desk, okay? Have a great day. IG, I will see you guys later. Take care. YouTube, I will see you guys later. Have a great day, guys. Take care.